Hi everyone, I am Whitney Freya and I'm here with my most amazing friend, Mellissae Lucia.
Yeah.
And we do medicine walks together in my amazing home of Wallowa County. And this is our suggestion as to the art journal that you may want to create to bring with you for your medicine walk day. I am going to use my favorite moleskin journals, which are like kind of the 9x12 size, the A4, they have the black cover, just because those are the only journals I use. And those take watercolor-ish, you know, I mean, some pages for some reason work better than others. You can get a watercolor journal, like Strathmore makes those visual journals that have watercolor pages, or, you know, any trip to an art store. How fun is that to get a new journal?
Problem.
But this is really fun. This is what Mellissae uses, and so we wanted to show you in case you want to make this or bring the paper to make this for your medicine walk experience with us. So show us, Mellissae.
Well, this one, this was in 2003 when I did my first medicine walk with my teacher, Valerie Wolf. We were up in Banff, up in Canada. It was extraordinary. And I was really into watercolors at that time. And so everything that I did, I wanted to watercolor things, because to me, watercolors lets spirit into things that you can't control it. It's going to flow, particularly if it's wet on wet and you have the paper, so that the paper is wet, and then of course the brush is wet with the paint. And so I was making these journals, and I did some pre-game where I did some photos. These are all of my grandmothers. This is honoring the ancestors. That was me the first day of the walk, just seeing if I looked different. You know, have I changed? Graciela Iturbide, one of my soul images. That's a whole nother story. But I liked the freedom of having these free-form pages, and I combined them later. And so this was the information about the medicine walk. And what's interesting is my teacher, who I met there, this was my husband, who had passed the year before from cancer, Chris, up in the mountains. Hi, Chris. Holla. And so what's interesting is the teacher, my teacher, Valerie Wolf, that I met there in Banff up in Canada, she actually has Nez Perce, Namipu roots, and this was their summer place where Whitney lives in Wallowa. And so we did medicine walks on the lake at the lodge on Wallowa Lake. And so there's this whole weaving together, because with Valerie and our group that we were part of, we would come here and do a medicine walk. So it's this huge privilege and gift to do the medicine walks. But so this is a sort of journal where you can do collage. The watercolor paper is thick and heavy enough that you're going to be able to do whatever you want. You can take feathers, you can tape them on with any sort of masking tape. And I like that freedom. And to me, they're kind of funky like this. And then I would write my dreams and my impressions. And it's this whole template and this whole teaching of what happened during the medicine walk. I even wrote notes from what Valerie had offered during the walk. And so this is something that I think is completely gorgeous and kind of funky and, you know, very low tech. We've got the little D-rings. There was a hole punch involved. You know, we can pretend like we're in second grade, and it's always good. But this is something you could do.
Question.
Yeah.
So did you buy the paper that size? Because it's cool square paper.
No, I cut it down. I think my math is not going to come, but it was this long. So, you know, it was, what would that be, 11 by 14 maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
I'm a nut for square. I like the proportions. It feels energetically
good. They do sell square pads of watercolor paper, or I've bought packages of square pre-cut watercolor paper.
So maybe at your art supply store. But I think just the idea with this freeform unbound is that you can do what you want with it. So you guys decide. Right.
So for your medicine walk here, what you can just bring is a big ass pad of watercolor paper, and ideally either the size you want, or cut it. You know, just go into even like a FedEx Kinko's or something, and use their paper cutter.
Exactly.
And then you can work on the pages individually at the medicine walk, and then when you get home, you can hole punch. I have hole punches, but you can hole punch and get the little rings.
Right.
So it's a process.
It's a process. And you probably, this one's thick. This was probably 2 or 3 of those packs of the Strathmore or whatever you're going to get, you know, which you can get anywhere. But do what pleases you. You know, you may want smaller, you may want bigger.
You may want a moleskin, or you may want a visual journal.
But you're going to bring it on the land with you. You're going to paint. You're going to explore. I mean, it's going to be part of your quest. And sacred symbols, yantras, our Whitney is lots of training.
I will tune you into the sacred symbol language before you go out on your medicine walk.
So
no coincidences. No. Okay, we love you. So get over here. Like, come to Wallowa and play with us, and realize that your life is magical and you are on a sacred journey, and there are guides and muses all around you, all within you, all the time, wanting to give you clues. You don't have to figure life out. You can look for the clues and follow the energy. So we are your guides. Two of them. Reach out to us so we can help.
Ciao.
Bye.